Welcome to Actor for Real, the one-stop shop for actors of all levels. My name is Anastasia Chord, I'm your host, and today I will be sharing with you 5 actor tips that I wish I knew 9.5 years ago when I started pursuing acting. Let's get into it, but make sure that you are watching the video until the end because I saved the best tip until the end. Let's go. Tip number 5, submit, submit, submit. Whether you have an agent or you don't have an agent, make sure that you are submitting yourself for acting gigs. For you to come into this industry fresh off the boat without any experience, that is exactly what you need. You need experience. And if you're coming back into this industry after a hiatus, you also need to get more experience among the industry and how it works right now, because I'm telling you, things have changed since your last time on set. So for you to gain experience, for you to get the demo reels that you desperately need, and you always need new footage, you need to be cast in productions. And for you to be cast in the productions, you need to be auditioning for those productions. And for you to be auditioning for those productions, you need to be submitting yourself to those productions, because you need to get yourself in front of casting directors as much as possible so that you're not only training that acting muscle, but you're also getting yourself right there in front of people who are looking to cast their projects. Tip number 4. When it comes to auditioning, try not to guess what they're looking for. A lot of times when we receive a breakdown, when we receive a self-tape audition request, or if we receive a in-person audition, which are so scarce, I don't even remember the last time I went in person to audition for a project. It must have been over a year ago. But when you're receiving the sides for this audition, it is so easy to go into this mindset that is starting to guess what it is that the casting director is looking for. And also another trap when it comes to that is trying to present to the casting director in your self-tape what the scene would look like. Make it simple. Be yourself. Don't try to guess what it is that they're looking for. Because let me tell you, what they're looking for is you. What they're looking for is your personality, your unique perspective on the character, which is you in those circumstances. So make sure that you are being yourself at all times, and you're not overthinking and not adding all this extra stuff, all this extra fluff that we as actors like to put into our self-tapes. Just go in, do the job, give your reading, and don't overthink it. Send it in and let it go. Number 3, work on your ego. There's a lot of information out there about what is ego, but a lot of people are talking about that right now. And if you don't know what ego is, well, ego is that voice within our head that is trying to tell us all these mean things that it really likes to tell us. And there is a lot of perspective out there on what that voice actually is. And let me tell you, a lot of acting coaches will try to tell you that ego is the part of you that wants you to fail. Well, I beg to differ. Ego is the part of you that is scared of failure. There's nothing within you that wants you to fail. However, for you to get to this understanding that nothing's against you, everything is trying to help you and protect you, you need to work on yourself. This is when we talk about personal development. Listen to personal development podcasts. Watch personal development YouTube videos, read books, learn more about what it is that makes you you and how to get better at what you're doing. Because let me tell you, I went through this experience yesterday. I was in a recording studio, recording voiceover for this hush hush game that I am not allowed to talk about, but I can tell you about my experience with ego, because I was actually able to consciously step out of that vicious cycle of going downward spiraling when my ego started going off like crazy, telling me all these things about how incapable I am, of how I am not professional enough, or that I am not trained enough to actually be there recording that voiceover for this amazing new game. And it was just so easy to tap into that, to let that take over, which I have been doing for so many years. But this was the very first time when I was able to step outside of that and talk to my ego and calm it down very fast, so that I was able to professionally perform and make sure that I am showing up for this project, because they booked me for it for a reason. But let me tell you, everybody, absolutely everybody, experiences that really mean nagging voice inside of our heads that's constantly judging us. So your goal as an actor, and this is your acting tip number 3, is to make sure that you know how to deal with that ego, because it will never go away. It will always be there, but it can change and it can evolve together with you. And your responsibility as an actor, as a professional actor showing up to set, is making sure that you know how to deal with it, so that it's not intervening into your process, into your work, because nobody has time for that, and that's your responsibility. So make sure that you're working on that. All right, tip number 2, and this is a very controversial one, and a lot of people might not agree with me on that, but you don't need an agent. You don't need an agent for quite some time. You don't need an agent. You just don't need an agent. There is a plethora of opportunity out there for you to go after and get. If you're not signed up to casting profiles so that you can be submitting yourself, make sure that you have a budget set aside specifically for that, so that you can be submitting yourself to as many casting calls as possible. Because if you're just starting out or you're coming back, a lot of times agents are not very interested to working with actors who are just fresh off the boat. As time goes on, you will start noticing how many people fall off from the acting race. Let's put it that way. It's an acting race, because it is all about who stays. And those people who actually stay, they're the ones who get through to a higher level of this profession. And in the first few years of you working on your career, you're not going to need an agent if you don't have a demo reel, if you don't have a resume, if you're still using a fake resume, which I did for a couple of years before I started actually gaining experience and gaining credits. I was using a fake resume. You can do that. Nobody cares. They just want to see that you have worked, right? So before you actually start getting actual credits and you start getting experience, I highly recommend against looking for an agent. It will be a waste of time for you. It might actually be pretty unpleasant, because all of these submissions take so much time with so little gain, so to speak, because a lot of times agents are not necessarily paying attention to actors who don't have much experience. And you have to put yourself in their perspective, in their shoes, because their job is to make money. They're making money off of actors. It's just what it is. You can call it anything, but that is their goal. They're just trying to make money. And when you are just coming into acting world, fresh off the boat, you don't have experience, well, it is very doubtful that they can make money off of you. So I highly recommend for you to continue submitting yourself, continue working until you actually have a good amount of credits, good amount of variety of demo reels, and that is when, and you create a nice actor bio for yourself, and that is when you can start submitting for actors. But the first few years, I wouldn't even worry about that, because there is plenty of work for you to get yourself out there. You will be doing a lot of free projects, a lot of not paying projects, a lot of projects that are not paying all that much. And imagine having to give a 20 to 30% to the agents, to the managers when you're making so little. And they actually might try to put you in a box. But what I want you to do is to find yourself and find your voice first. So don't worry about finding an agent. All right, here we go. Tip number 1. And this is a tip that I wish I knew 9.5 years ago when I started pursuing acting, because I feel like if I've known this sooner, the whole trajectory of my career would have looked completely different. It's a book. Who would have thought? It's just one book, people. Read it. And guess what? It's free. Completely free of charge. The book is called New Thoughts for Actors, and it's written by Plotnick. This book talks about ego. This book talks about acting techniques. This book talks about improvisation. This book talks about everything that you need to know as an actor. This book is gold and it's free. This book will save you so much trouble. It will save you so much money, because when you read this book, you realize that you don't need a single acting class after that. While you might be taking workshops and working with private coaches, but you don't need to go into the best production of acting studios that LA is just swarming with, who are looking for nothing but to make money off of you and keep you in class so that you're coming back and paying them money. Here it is. I said it. If there's an acting class that you're looking for, it's in this book. It's called New Thoughts for Actors. It is not sponsored. There's no money. Nobody's getting money from it, but Plotnick is a working actor with over 130 credits on IMDb, who's been doing it for many years. This is his way of giving back to the community. He's not making money off of it. He wrote a book for you people so that you can learn how to be an actor for real and how to save a lot of hassle, trouble, money, and all of that good stuff that you can actually put into submitting yourself for casting breakdowns. The book is available on Plotnick's website, and it is available in a PDF format. And I will leave a link to this book in the description below this video. Or you can just do a Google search, and if you just type in New Thoughts for Actors, this book will come up. It's only in PDF, it's never been printed, so you can print it yourself, or you can use one of the tablets or Kindles or whatever it is that you use to read your books, and you can thank me later, because I can swear by this. This book will change your life and the trajectory of your acting career. There you have it, you guys. These are the top 5 actor tips that I have for you. And that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like this video if you found some value in it. Share it with those you think might benefit from this video. Comment down below. Let me know which of the tips you found the most helpful. And let me know if you're going to read this book. And please let me know how you like the book when you do read it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.